Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Alhamdulillah. So how you doing, huh?
Alhamdulillah. How about yourself?
I'm good. Alhamdulillah.
All right.
Alhamdulillah. A nice, bright, sunny day outside.
Yes, it is. Yes. Um, I need to check it out. So any
Yeah.
word yet on the vehicle?
Oh, no, not yet. Not yet. I'm going through the steps of what needs to be done. I need to, find out if somebody, can do it. And it seems like it might be up in Casablanca, so I may have to get it towed up there and have somebody look at it.
Were you able to drive it home, or is it just or you had it towed to your home?
I haven't had anything done. It's where everything happened at right now. So I'm waiting until I guess Monday, to
Okay.
start all of that proceedings.
So what was the deal? Was an animal in the road, or what?
No, it was, just she was in her neighborhood and around her where she lives, and
Uh-huh.
she decided to test out her driving skills and didn't turn out as good as she thought it would. Neither did I. I didn't even know that she was driving at the time. So she kind of, you know, created some disturbance there. It seems like it would hit whatever it hit pretty hard. The car was kind of moving at a pretty fast speed. So
Oh,
I don't know the
she didn't.
details yet.
Oh, she didn't hit another vehicle though, right?
No, 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 just a wall.
Oh, wow. Ooh, that sounds hairy. Oh, okay. Well, alhamdulillah, she's okay, right?
Well, I mean, we could gotta go to the doctor probably tomorrow or the next day and get that checked out. So, you know, she seems okay. I mean, everything, no broken bones, uh, nothing major.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh. So where is everybody?
that is a good question. I guess people got to do what they got to do, and sometimes it takes them a little while to get on board.
Mm.
Um, of course, this is the Sunday after Thanksgiving, so some people may not even be home yet. Traveling out of town to visit family and friends.
Yeah. Viva la Turkey.
Whatever.
Mm. So since we got time here, tell me about how you did this uh apple cider vinegar. You took the apples, cut them up, put them in a jar, and then what did you put in it?
Put some sugar in there.
Just sugar.
Yeah. And
Okay.
water. I mean, water, got to put some water in there to get everything in the solution. Some people put the sugar in the water and then put the apples in it, but the goal is to get the sugar in there. The sugar is going to be converted into alcohol first, and
I see.
then all of the alcohol is going to be consumed by some bacteria to convert it to acetic acid.
Okay, see, I thought that's what it was because, I used to work in the prison system and that's how they made the jailhouse rock.
Yeah, I mean that's a part of that process. Some people stop it at that stage, or let it continue to ferment.
So how do you know how much further to take it?
Well, the experience say the first 30 days is really, you'll see the gas being formed, and then you can smell it, and it's going to smell like alcohol. And
Okay.
then you let it continue to ferment for another, 3, 4 weeks. And then by that time, you'll see that the alcohol has been converted into acetic acid. It's all a question of timing and smelling, and I guess later on tasting.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Would it
yeah.
kickstart it if you put some vinegar in the water?
That helps. Yeah, yeah. But again, to find a cider vinegar that is not really, what do you call it? Pasteurized, where it's really, I mean, it may look like it, but it may not really be cider vinegar. So, the goal is to get, the true thing. Um, you
You know,
know,
I never thought about that. Vinegar is pasteurized. So I guess just about anything in a liquid form that's sold commercially goes through some type of pasteurization process. Is that generally true?
generally true. If it's being sold over the counter in the marketplace, then for the most part, it's going to have some pasteurization. Now, Bragg's has been on the market for a long time, and they have a technique. I mean, the old Bragg. Now, this new Bragg that you're buying on the market now, I would have to research it and find out what that really is, because
Somebody famous bought them, I believe, or
yeah,
it's involved.
Bill Gates now
Yeah.
owns Bragg's. And is it still the old Bragg formula, or is it something else? We don't.
Well, people like him, I always think of a danger when they take over something.
It's all about profit, right? I mean, that's what he's looking at. It's all about profit. And say, I guess, power and ownership. You know,
Yeah.
um, whether the apples are going to be organic or not, whether they're going to maintain the same level of standard that the old Bragg formula maintained is a whole other question.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting point. Huh.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep. I think a number of people have joined on board now, so let us get started. But I did wanted to take that cider whatever to the next level, which we'll talk about at a later point, because
all right.
um, I'm getting ready to expand out a little bit now that I got the basics down. Anyway, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Ya Allah, the source of all healing. We gather here today with our hearts full of gratitude for the blessings of health and knowledge. We ask you for your guidance as we strive to improve our well-being and make choices that honor our bodies that you have entrusted us with. O Allah, grant us wisdom and understanding to understand the knowledge we share today. Open our hearts and minds to new insight and bless us with strength and determination to adopt healthier habits. Protect our hearts, both physically and spiritually, and fill our bodies, fill them with our peace and contentment. Bless everyone here today. Bless our
Ameen.
loved ones and with good health,
I mean,
lifelong, and the ability to serve you with vitality. Make our efforts a means of drawing closer to you and a source of benefit for our communities. Ameen.
Ameen. Ameen.
So, welcome everybody. Thank you
Assalam.
for
Assalamu alaikum. I'm sorry. I
wa
just
alaikum
wanted to
salam. Wa alaikum salam. I'm sure most of you are having some slowness after all of that turkey and stuff that people ate over the week over the weekend. once you have turkey, turkey is there until the turkey is no more, right? So you send some out and covered dishes and aluminum foil and what have you. And then I guess by Sunday time, it's pretty much down to where you can manage it a little bit. It's almost gone. But anyway, we're going to talk today about, how do we fuel our journey and how to get healthy and to stay healthy. I guess we've been talking about that all along. I mean, every week we talk about some aspect of getting healthy. And of course, once we get healthy, the goal then is to stay healthy. And of course, all need to continue to get healthy because we don't all sometimes fall off of the wagon, so to speak. So, we need to all remind ourselves, from time to time that we need to do whatever we need to do in order to get our health back as a priority so that we can keep doing what it is that we're doing. Like the byline today is a keto-centric approach to lifelong wellness. Lifelong wellness. That's a novel term. Lifelong. I mean, we're really talking about whatever time we got left here on the earth. I mean, some of the younger people that are coming along, of course, they don't usually when you're younger, you don't want to know too much about uh, this health thing. Everybody's that's the least of your concern. Like it used to be with, Social Security and pension. Like, who worried about pensions and Social Security when you're younger, as long as you got a check coming in every week? That's the only thing that really mattered. Do you have enough money to, do the weekend and do your, whatever it is that you like to do. Now we're faced with this thing of wellness, lifelong wellness. And really that means being able to do some of the things that we used to do and do them with enjoy doing them, being able to, get about and to move and to, you know, you know, hit a lick or whatever we used to do. This is how we want to do that. So let's move on. You got a few things to talk about today here. Um, oops, here we. Mhm. Yeah, okay. So we're going to talk really today about how do we understand how keto supports health, because a lot of people don't really believe in that or really understand that or think that this is something that is good for them. And maybe it's not. Maybe some people don't really need to get healthy. Maybe they feel, well, I'm healthy already. I don't need this thing over here. Maybe I need to lose a few pounds. Well, then you need keto because that's the one thing that keto is known to do, that if you need to lose a few pounds, this is where you need to be at because it will do that for you. But getting healthy is something that everybody doesn't really need to do, but at least they think they don't. They don't. We all need to be healthy. We all need to strive to get as healthy as we can get because in time our health slips, our practices that we do in order to stay healthy, we kind of slip a little bit on that. So we need to get back on the bandwagon and be reminded that this is what we really need to be doing because, you know, we only get one life to live and we might as well live it to the best of our ability, and living it in a healthy state is way, way, way better than living it in an unhealthy state. Because unhealthiness can fall way down to some low levels where you might be, well, I don't even want to put things into your imagination, but you know being unhealthy carries with it its own set of conditions that we all need to be aware of. So we're also going to explore the lifestyles and practices that complement keto, the things that we ought to be doing that keto is good by itself, but there are things that if we did them will enhance our results, enhance what it is that we want to achieve while we're doing keto, while we're eating what we're eating. You know, there are things that we also need to do that will help us to be the best that we can be. And we're going to also try and share a few tools for long-term health success. So here we go. There's a quote that says, your health is an investment, not an expense. Your health is an investment. And the more you invest into the stock market, the bank, or a business, the more likely that you're going to get a return on your investment. That's going to be nice. You know, some people, I was talking or listening to one of the athletes who, I think it was Kobe Bryant, who advised James Harden to invest in, I think it was Nike. No, it was Under Armour. And I think Kobe paid about $4 million for his share of the investment. And when he sold it, he got like $40 million. And James Harden did it. I think James Harden invested like $500,000. So his return on his investment was, moderate. But can you imagine if he had dropped $1 million in there, what he would have got, what he would have gotten? I mean, it's all a question of how much you invest in uh, what you believe in and how much you invest in yourself. That makes the difference. So we're talking here about health. We're talking about investing. And this investment comes in the form of prioritizing the long-term benefits of your health. Well, it also comes in the form of things that will boost your energy and productivity and things that allow you to focus on prevention of things over being treated for something. Okay, preventing something as opposed to being treated for something later on down the road. Prevention is far, far better than treatment. If you can, if you jump on it early enough. And also we're going to do the value of self-worth and body. Sometimes we kind of play down on that little, that self-worth end of it. And there's a video here. So let me see if I can click on that here. Bear with me. Okay. And you have to let me know if you can hear this. Can you hear?
I don't hear anything.
No.
No.
I still can't hear anything, sir.
Okay, once. Oh. Let's see. Let me stop this. Stop that and come over here. Make sure sound is on. No. This one. Okay. All right. I think you got the sound. You see it, right?
At the beginning, everybody's excited, everybody is on fire, but at a certain point, you hit something along the journey, and it's gonna test that level of commitment. At a certain point, you're gonna hit something, it's gonna test that level of faith, and my definition of commitment was always staying true to what I said I would do, long after the mood that I've set it in has left. Like, am I gonna stay true to my beliefs and my core and my essence of who I am as an individual? In life, people don't burn out because of what they do. People burn out because life makes them forget why they do. But when the purpose is intact, when the mission is intact, when it's about something greater than themselves, the opposition, the adversity, and the challenges are part of the journey. When things happen to redirection, it makes it even sweeter. When the purpose is greater and about something greater than you. The only thing I ask of you, never allow life to make you forget why you started in the first place.
That's a powerful message. Let me see if I can get back to where we were. First, let's do this. Oops. Let me go back to here at least. Okay. And share that. Okay. So what did everybody think of that message?
It's a good message.
It's a good message. That's a power. Look at the way that's the person who's narrating that is, his name is David Goggins. He's a young guy. Now I guess he's older now, but he was a Navy SEAL, and he went through that training, I think 2 or 3 times, and he's like amazing person. The fact that he did it, and if you read about his life and how he grew up, I mean, it brings tears to your eyes. This kid was like poorer than poor, and a lot of the trauma and drama that went on in his life that made him to become the person that he is. I'll share maybe that story with you up on WhatsApp, because just the fact that I won't say survived. I mean, he's beyond surviving, but his story is just a powerful story that we all should know about. Does anybody know about David Goggins? All right, I'll share.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah, I'll share that with you. You'll be pleased. So anyway, your health is an investment, and you gotta invest into it. There are several steps involved in that. One of them is consistency, balance, and making health a lifestyle, not just a thing that you want to do today because it's the thing to do. You got to make a decision about your life and what do you need to do to get your life to be the best that it can be for you. I mean, that's really the bottom line. So here's something: taking small steps, maintaining a balanced approach to wellness, building healthy habits for the long term, practice self-compassion and resilience, and celebrating progress. Now let's look at each one of those. Focus on small steps. Small steps in the final analysis yield big results. Okay, small steps yield big results. So focus on making gradual, sustainable change, like drinking more water or walking 10 minutes, 5 minutes a day, 2 minutes a day. Take out time and do a 2-minute walk today, and then with the intention of maybe next week, next month, you're doing a 10-minute walk with the intent that one day maybe you'll be doing a 15 or 20-minute walk. It's all starts with small steps. And if you can get the small steps, get your mind to accept the small steps, and you put your effort towards doing that, hey, it works. Uh, I'm going to post these, so I'm not going to go through all of this because there's a lot of other material that I want to spend some time on today. But this will be there for you to look at. The things within this small steps, getting to the big results phase is what we're really stressing today. Balancing your, the food that you're eating with the activity that you're putting out, with the sleep that you should be getting, with the emotional well-being and the holistic approach to all of this. These are the formulas or the steps all involved in getting there. Nutrition is really cannot be stressed enough, and stress cannot be stressed enough because we are sure we are under a lot of stress, and we got to figure out ways in which we can de-stress ourselves and get back into being being able to sleep, because stress is causing a lot of us not to sleep, you know, uh, and in addition to other things that are in our lives that is taking us away from being able to go to sleep like we should, because sleep is an important piece of this whole thing. I think we downplay it or minimize it or don't take it seriously enough. I mean, this is the time when your body is repairing itself. And if we aren't allowing the repair to take place, then if the body is not repaired, then it's just what do you say, a step away from being broken. Okay, I mean, the repair process is essential to the wholeness, the balance that you need to have to allow you to get back there. Exercise, is another piece of it. And we're going to talk about these a few more times later on. Healthy eating habits, how to eat healthy. We've talked about that enough, and we'll probably talk about some of that today because it's important. Shifting from short-term fixes, which is, you might eat healthy today, but tomorrow you may not eat healthy. You might eat it, like go through a phase where you're going to eat good, and then all of a sudden you go through a phase when you don't eat so good. But this is a lifelong process. You've got to adopt habits and practices that are good for you in the long term, short term and in the long term. Okay, good for you in the short term and in the long term. So that's where we need to be at. And then we have consistency doesn't mean perfection. It's saying being kind to yourself. Okay, we don't know. I mean, sometimes we don't be as kind to ourselves as we should. I'll be the first to say that I'm a little hard on myself. I look for perfection in things and that I do, and maybe not always from other people, but yeah, I do too sometimes. It may not be like it's coming as fast or, I mean, we all got traits like that. Slowing down. I'll be again guilty of not slowing down and taking time and smelling the roses, so to speak. Work is like working, trying to get so much done within the hours that you have allotted to you for that particular day, or you ripped off that, I'm going to this is my time. I'm going to take advantage of it. We need to slow down, take it easy, let your emotions come through sometimes. If you need to cry, you need to cry. I mean, yeah, that may get you through a situation. I mean, sometimes the weight of everything just like comes down on you all at one time. And sometimes the only option, the only out you got is to cry. So that's don't feel, a lot of guys, we don't like to, use that emotion. We like to be hard and rigid and strong and, macho and, all of that. But sometimes the life of the weight of the world descends on you, and you gotta figure out a way to cope with that. And if crying is that coping mechanism, then you do that. And take a break. Sometimes you need to cancel things, take a break, get away from all of this stuff. Okay. And you know, and it says also ask for help when you need help. Don't be afraid to ask for help, to say, look, I need some help on this, you know. And when the time comes, which comes sometimes, very seldom, that victory that for your success in life and things that you've accomplished, um, celebrate. Take a minute and just enjoy the moment. Acknowledge the steps that you took to get there, but you need to, once you get to that point, you need to celebrate that accomplishment. Whether it be, I'm not going to eat any sugar this week, and you did it. You accomplished it. Then you need to celebrate for that small victory that you've accomplished, because it's important that you acknowledge your body wants to some appreciation for what it did in order to get you there, because it may not have agreed with you, it may not have cooperated with you. Um, okay, and my statement is that it's, in quote, never too late. I mean, you got time. If you're breathing, you still got time to put all of this into practice. Okay. And I'm a scientist, so I like to break things down into equations. An equation has to be balanced. An equation that's skewed one way or the other, it's not balanced. And if it's not balanced, something is going to happen or is happening. So if you look, and I'm saying, if you small steps plus a balanced way of living, okay, balanced outlook, balance to wellness, healthy habits for eating and other things that we're doing in life, plus the self-compassion that we bring to ourselves, and the celebrating progress. All of these things are balanced because they all equal to lifelong wellness. And if one of these is out of balance or not in place, then lifelong wellness is not going to be achievable. So we need, or if lifelong wellness is the goal. So we need to do those things in order to balance it out. So we got time. It's never too late to start on the road, down the road to getting our lives, getting our health back to the point where it needs to be, so we can begin to get the most out of our lives. So again, we're going to talk about the basics of the ketogenic diet, because that's what we are about. And I feel that to get healthy, this is a very necessary step. Now, everybody's got their own idea about what it is or how to or what it takes in order to get healthy. But I propose this because it saved me. You know, this coming January 1st will be 1 year of being on the ketogenic way of life. You know, for me, it's not just a diet. You know, it's a way. I accepted this as a way of life. Now, whether I eat ketogenic every day, I mean, it doesn't mean or the strict or being a strict ketogenic person every day or not. You know, I'm at a point where I can experiment, you know, with my body and see how I respond to sugar, how I respond to carbohydrates. So I may eat a piece of bread and see what happens. And then, you know, my body deals with it. It goes up and it comes back down. And 2 hours later, my blood sugar is back down to normal. I said, that's interesting. Um, at least that part of my life is back into the way in which it should be. But a lot of you are not there. So this is where we need to get to. And some people don't even think about it, or because they don't test, you don't know what your body is doing and how it's responding to carbs. And I contend that you may need to look into that because it's important that you get your health, get everything back into the sequence that it should be in. So the ketogenic diet, again, is a low carb where you eat 20 to 50 grams of carbs uh, a day, or per meal. And then you have a high fat way of eating, you know, high fat component, high healthy fat. Okay, not just any old fat that you come across, but high healthy fat content. And when you do that, you leave the carbs, and then you increase the amount of fat in your diet. Your body then will shift into a state called ketosis, where it begins to burn the fat as the fuel. Okay, you know, you're either a carb burner for your energy, for your ability to get up and move and walk and talk and do whatever it is you need to do. The energy that you're using is purely carbohydrate. Now, if you need to, when you switch over to being a fat burner, okay, that means that you're no longer burning carbohydrate, okay, because the body can't burn both at the same time. It'll either burn carbs, and when it finishes using up all of the carbohydrate, then it switches over to ketones or fat. And then it produces ketones as a result of burning the fat. So it works because you reduce the carbs down to 20 to 50 grams per day, okay? Then you increase the amount of fat that you're eating in your diet, okay? And that fat can be olive oil or avocados or nuts or, you know, MCT oil or whatever oil or fat it is that you're consuming or eating. That's will become the fuel that will be used. And the other part of the diet is moderate protein. Okay, it's not a high protein diet, it's a moderate protein diet. Okay, so the benefits that you get from being a fat burner is that you accelerate your body's burning ability to burn its own fat, which then ultimately leads to weight loss. Then you want to stabilize, it also stabilizes your blood sugar. Because if you're not taking in a lot of carbs, okay, if you're not bringing them into your body, then there's less sugar or carbs that I worry about, and your body is not going to produce insulin, which is the culprit in this whole thing. Okay, the insulin, when your body produces sugar, the insulin then is signal it has to be coming to consume all of that sugar, and then we're constantly burning insulin, producing insulin, producing insulin. Okay, and another benefit that you get from being on ketosis is boost of energy. You'll feel energized. You'll feel that mental clarity that you get from the ketones being burned in your body, and it reduces inflammation. So you will have less joint pain, aches and pains that are the result of inflammation. So, as we said last week, the keto is not just a diet, it's a powerful lifestyle for long-term health transformation. Okay. And let me see if I can play this here. Trying another video here. The sound should be okay.
Hey, this is Dr. Berry. In this video, let's discuss the ketogenic diet. Now, you may have heard about this diet. Chances are you have. Word about the ketogenic way of eating is spreading like wildfire, and for good reason, actually for multiple good reasons. And I wanted to make a video to talk to just the very basic beginner, somebody who's just heard about the ketogenic diet. You may have heard some good things about it, you may have heard some great things about it, or you may have even heard some bad or dangerous or scary things about it. And I wanted to make a video just for you, so that I could talk about the basic concepts behind this diet and help you understand this better because it's so important. So let's talk about the ketogenic diet. Now, if you know someone who's just thinking about starting keto or who has just started keto, or you're thinking about it, please share this on your Facebook page. If you know that you have beginners in your ketogenic or low carb, high fat group, please share this video to help them learn what this is because they need to know. So let's get into it. The ketogenic way of eating. What is it? What's it about? What's it do? Why is everyone so on fire for this way of eating? So first and foremost, the ketogenic way of eating is low carb. That's very important for the ketogenic diet to work. There are essential fatty acids that you have to have. If you don't get them for a long enough period of time, you will get sick, you will suffer, and you will die. There are essential amino acids found in proteins that if you don't get them for a long enough period of time, you will get sick, you will suffer, and you'll die eventually because you have to have certain fats. You have to have certain proteins for your human body to function properly. Now, what you may not know is that there is no such thing as an essential carbohydrate. There are no such thing as essential sugars, no such thing as essential starches. They don't exist. There is no such thing. You could take a human being and lock them up and feed them only fat and protein for the rest of their life, and they would do great. They would thrive. They would be vibrant and vigorous and happy because there's no such thing as an essential carbohydrate. So the ketogenic way of eating takes advantage of this because we know that carbohydrates can have negative effects in your body if you eat too many of them. And so the ketogenic diet is a very low carbohydrate diet. So it's also a very high healthy fat diet. And so in the ketogenic way of eating, you'll get to enjoy lots of healthy high fat foods. And that's because the fat does multiple things for you, okay? Now, there are bad fats that you should avoid at all costs. Fats such as canola oil, corn oil, soybean oil, those are bad, okay? Safflower oil, any hydrogenated oil you need to avoid because they're very bad for you. You need to avoid margarine. I can't believe it's not butter, country crock, any fake oil substitute, Crisco or any of the hydrogenated shortenings, they're not good for you. They're bad for you. You need to stop eating them immediately. And you're going to replace them with good, healthy fats like butter, like avocado oil, like lard, like olive oil. All of these fats are actually good for you, and you can enjoy them as much as you want on a ketogenic way of eating. These fats do multiple good things in your body. The next thing that you need to know about the ketogenic diet is that it's about whole, real foods. The ketogenic diet is not about pre-packaged Weight Watcher or lean cuisine frozen dinners that you might call them pseudo dinners because there's really no actual nutrition in them. The ketogenic way of eating is not about any product. There's no product for you to buy that you need to do keto right. You don't have to buy keto shakes or powders or bars. You don't have to buy Atkins anything. You don't have to buy low carb, high fat anything. There are no products that someone who's truly teaching you about the real ketogenic way of eating is ever going to recommend to you, okay? So if anybody's trying to sell you exogenous ketones, that's not real keto. If they're trying to sell you bars, shakes, pills, powders, that's not real keto. The ketogenic way of eating is about eating real whole foods. If you can afford organic and grass-fed, that's great, buy those. If you can't afford those yet, that's okay. You can still keto, okay? You can still do keto on a budget. There are many videos on my YouTube channel here and on other people's YouTube channels that explain to you how to do keto on a budget. You can do keto for cheap if you need to right now. We always want you to buy the best quality whole foods, organic foods that you can afford, but if you can't afford those yet, you can still keto. The keto
Okay, I'm gonna pause it there. And okay. Okay, let's move on. Everybody's still with me, right?
Yes, I'm still with you.
Okay, good, good, good. These are just some examples of the healthy fats that you can eat. The avocado, loaded with fats, olive oil and ghee, and the protein can be chicken, beef, beer. Typo there, beef. Okay, fish and eggs, non-starchy veggies, spinach, broccoli, zucchini, and what have you. All of these are the good things that you can enjoy on keto. And I think we also talked about the science behind keto. Why does it work? And I think I just said that you get when your body consumes starch, bread, pasta, things like that, your body then will convert all of that into a form of energy, and then it will, your body runs on that. The other part is when you're on keto, your body have the fat here, then the fat is converted into the triglycerides and your liver converts that. And then you get a form of energy, that you can live on and produce and run on. One second. Then we come to, you went there already. The benefits. We talked about the fat burning, the weight loss that you will get as a result of your body burning its own fat. This energy that you will get as a result of, the ketones being such an efficient form of fuel that it burns very, high energy and clean. And you also get that form of appetite suppression as a result of being on keto, which means that you won't feel hungry, the need to want to have to eat food all the time, which is a benefit. That's one of the things that we would love to want to have, when we're trying to do things that are uh, okay. Then we come to mental clarity as the other part of that. So I'm kind of repeating on that particular aspect of it. And we come, all right, here we go. What things you should not eat on keto? You should not eat, of course, a lot of grain, a lot of pasta, a lot of potatoes, processed snacks. All of these things will generate energy. And just hold on one second. No problem. Okay, sorry about that. And of course, a lot of sweet things, sugary, candy, things that are, just would wreak havoc with the body. So I don't want to hopefully go into too much depth on that today. The insulin sensitivity, lower carbs in the body reduces the need for the body to produce insulin all the time. We are insulin machines. We manufacture insulin all the time because we're constantly taking in foods that are carbohydrate in nature, and therefore we produce insulin. Anything we are eating that's of a carb, even if it's a piece of broccoli, eventually will be converted into carbs, and it's going to require insulin to break it down. But those kind of carbs are the better kind, and the insulin spike that you're going to get as a result of that won't be as pronounced as it would be if you ate a potato or some other form of carbohydrates that are really, they call them high glycemic carbohydrates that will break down so fast. Actually, they are the low glycemic because they break down faster. The higher the number, the better. So does anyone have any success stories you want to relate to the group? Any accomplishments? Any one withstanding the need to eat potato chips or other kinds of foods that are not in the best interest of our bodies? Anyone? Not one person? Okay.
I don't think anybody wants to claim that they've given anything up totally. I don't know. There may be some who have, but I still find it difficult.
Find it difficult to give things up totally?
Yes.
I
It's-
second
it's-
most in that too.
Mhm.
I
It's
still enjoy cookies.
you know, I, those things are, I mean, everyone would enjoy cookies because that's how we were brought up. But when you put your health in front as a picture in front of you and saying, if I ate this cookie, I know my health is going to go downhill. It's not going to be good. I mean, it's not good for me. There's nothing good in a cookie now that you need that is going to be good for you, that's better than your health. You know, it's like that's a short-term satisfaction versus the long term, which is, I mean, how long do you want to live? You know, I mean, that's really the, you know, but I understand, I hear you loud and clear. I mean, we all have our difficulties that we have to deal with every day, you know, and you know, I hear you loud and clear. Does anyone
Dr.
else have any?
Jamal,
Yes,
I have a question.
yes.
So what's your sweet tooth? What you eat sci-fi to sweet tooth?
What do I eat? I may eat an apple now or a tangerine, you know, certainly the berries, you know, but you would expect me to go down the list of the good keto approved things. I don't have a craving for candy anymore. I don't have a craving for cake and cookies and pies anymore. You know, I can see those things. I can go to a restaurant, I can go to somebody's house and they got the stuff on the table. And I'm not moved, you know, by that stuff anymore.
Now
Uh,
that's good. Maybe
yeah.
one day I grow up and be just like you.
You know, I hope you do too, because you know it's for me it's a good place to be at. That I don't have the desire to want to do that stuff anymore. You know, I
Mhm.
was telling someone, I think I was writing in my book or something, you know, how my mother made me a sugar aholic, because she used to run a restaurant, and we used to have candy and cookies and pies and moon pies and honey buns and all of that stuff, you know, there. And you know, we would eat that stuff like, you know, like it was no tomorrow, you know. And she's like, "You're eating up the profit. You're eating up the profit." I eat, but out of a box of Baby Ruths, you know, if you eat two of those, you know,
Mhm.
then the profit is gone. She gets makes nothing on the box. But we didn't know that, you know, like just Baby Ruth or Mr. Butterfingers, or Almond
Mr.
Joys, all that stuff.
DeVore.
Mr. Goodbar,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, we used to eat all of that stuff, and so plus her cakes and pies and all of that stuff that she used to bake. I just became a sugar person. I mean, almost like from as early as I can remember. But I don't no longer have that craving, for that stuff.
That's good.
Yeah. Um, but work on it. It's a thing of every day, every moment, trying to um, figure it out. That
Yeah.
these things are not good for you. I mean, if somebody says that there is in the process that goes on in the body that's called glycation. So when you get a hemoglobin A1C, glycated hemoglobin. Glycation is a chemical process that means that that thing is being burned, and it when it's glycated, it turns brown sort of fast. So when fat in the
Mhm.
body is glycated, it turns brown. I mean, your body, your bones, your everything internally, it turns brown as though it's being burned. The energy that's being there's a process going on inside of your body that you're not even aware of, where you're glycating yourself. And glycation is another it's not good. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to be gross and gruesome about it. But glycation is something you want to try to avoid if you can. And if you want me to send you something on it to understand it better, then I would do that. But I understand this is really hard information. Is hard, tough loving.
Digest. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you gotta wanna have your health to be as the best it can be. I mean, you want to be the best. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. It's
Thank you.
okay. All right. So today I might terminate early. I've got to go to um, a luncheon. My friend's son just memorized Juz al Amo in the Quran, the last juice, and they're giving him a little celebration for that. So I told him I would come out there and you know help him to celebrate his accomplishment because that's indeed an accomplishment. So what time is it now? I'll try and go for maybe another half an hour, and we'll call it a day, whether I'm finished or not. But anyway, we talked about intermittent fasting last week and the value of intermittent fasting and what you will get as a result of doing intermittent fasting and how it so integrally tied into um, um, your health. And if you combine intermittent fasting with the keto way of eating, okay, because the keto tells you what to eat, and fasting tells you basically when to eat, that you get the best of all possible situations. That if you did it that way, then you would certainly, your health would be the recipient of that. And we talked about the science behind that last week and the times of, the different types of intermittent fasting. But if you did any kind of intermittent fasting, you're going to get benefit from it. The most extreme one is the 18-6, which is not really shown here. But when you're doing 18-6, you're going to go into that autophagy, which means your body is going to be being burned as a result of this burning fat. You're going to be in that fat burning phase, and you will lose weight. You will, see the inches around your waist begin to get smaller as a result of all of that. There were several mistakes regarding keto that we make. One might be eating too much or too little protein. I doubt if there are very many of us out in the audience today that are eating too much protein. I would hazard a guess to say that many of us are eating too little protein, that we're not reaching that 100 grams of protein that we should be eating a day. We're eating probably much, much, much less than that. We're not maybe getting in enough electrolytes into our body. And when you don't get the right electrolyte balance, then that's going to lead to an illness or sickness or a feeling that will come over you where you won't feel like you're yourself. So you need to be able to make sure that these small things are taken care of. Give it attention, give it the care and attention that it needs. We sometimes forget to include vegetables and fiber with the nutrient and, with what it is that we're eating. So, the daily needs for seniors, like many of us are, would be, I would say, for a person that is 70, kilograms, which is a very small person. 70 kilograms, like 154 pounds, would be their requirements for proteins every day would be something like 56 grams of protein. That's the standard requirement. Okay. For optimal recommendation for seniors, okay, again, for that 70 kilogram, 154 pound person, we're really talking about 70 to 84 grams of protein a day. It's really closer to 100, but again, if we're senior, we're down there. So, but for most of us, being able to get 70 to 80 grams of protein a day is a challenge. It's really a challenge because most of us are like eating one meal, and the amount of protein that you're going to eat in one meal is not going to be 70 to 80 kilograms. I'm sorry, 80 grams of meat. It's going to be, I don't know, it's going to be less side. That's, um, if your breakfast is including, let me come over here to the next slide. Say for breakfast, if you had 2 eggs and maybe a piece of half of an avocado, you might be up to maybe 15 grams of protein for that meal. And then for lunch, if you ate a uh, piece of chicken, we're really only talking about the protein part of that meal, then that might add up to be 36 grams. And then for dinner or supper, if you ate a piece of fish, a regular, man-sized portion of fish, then you might be up to 48 grams of protein. So when you add all of that together, you might be somewhere around 96 grams of protein for that day. And if you did that, that's good. You're doing what you're supposed to do. But many times we skip the breakfast, or we're eating a carbohydrate breakfast, and we made lunch, we might eat something very small, portion of something. And then we try to, wait until dinner and eat as much as we can during that time. But we're eating the carbs, the fat probably is very minimal. And then the protein, which may equate to be 48 grams, but we're still down compared to what you should be getting for the day. And this is where we really need to focus in on how do you do that? And whether you're doing keto or XYZ or whatever, this is a requirement that you need to have. And just go back one slide. If you have had any special needs like being sick or having had surgery or being injured, then your need for protein goes up. Okay, in order for the healing and the repair and everything to take place like it's supposed to, you should be doing like 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein a day in order to satisfy those needs. But since nobody ever told you, you just went about life. We all went about life thinking that however it is that we were eating was okay. And as a result of that, we never fully recovered. We never fully got the benefits of the recovery from that because we didn't have the protein there to help us to build and mend like we should. And this is where we really need to spend time. You need to focus in on making sure that's whether you're doing keto or not, you've got to get your protein in from some source. Okay. And again, whether you are uh, vegetarian, I think I had a slide on that. Maybe I didn't put it in there. Okay. Um, uh, if we're talking about if you eat too much protein, which very few of you in the listening audience, I'm sure, are in that category of eating too much protein and having to worry about protein being converted into glucose. And that's a source, that if you ate too much protein, there's a great likelihood that some of that protein is going to be converted into glucose through a process called glucose neogenesis, which is not, again, I don't think many of us have to worry about that. Um, the water loss is when you're not really getting in the uh, minerals in the water that we should. You're going to lose water through the keto diet to begin with because it favors getting the water out of your blood, which is a component of the hypertension that you're suffering from. It's, that part and parcel of having too much water in the blood. Now, what things are causing water to be in your blood? Well, one is sugar, okay? Carbohydrates and sugar, carbohydrates in the form of sugar is causing water to be in your blood. And the other one is salt. So two things can build unnecessarily cause our blood pressures to be elevated, and we don't know why. We can't see there's not, we're doing everything, but nothing is working. Well, have you tried stop eating sugar? Have you tried? I mean, the salt, you can, like, if you drop the sugar down, you can live with a little bit more salt. Salt is not always the culprit. That's again, that was the phrase that got me onto the keto. It said that the reason of your hypertension is not because of the salt. The salt is not the problem. It's the sugar that's the problem. And when I did that, I stopped, eating the sugar, and then my blood pressure just came down to normal. And I continued to follow that, and it's staying normal. And you know, I, anyway, yeah, you need to replace the electrolytes, the sodium, the potassium, and the magnesium that your body is flushing out of itself because of uh, see, the keto does a part of that, but because it's getting the water out of your blood, and with that goes some of the minerals that you need to have. So you have to replenish them. What are the symptoms of the electrolyte deficiency? Low energy, fatigue, headaches, brain fog, muscle cramps, spasms. Anybody having any of these symptoms? Anybody? Dizziness or lightheadedness? Anybody having any of these? Well, not very few of you are doing the keto, strict keto, so you probably would not have these, at least have them uh, related to being on keto. If you have them, they're from other reasons. And if you do, then you may need to look at that. If you're having some muscle cramps and spasms and what have you, you may need to have that looked at because that's symptomatic of something in your muscles, and your muscles are not getting something that it needs, and you may need to revisit that.
So would that be also considered like, how you can sleep the wrong way and be having like cramps in your hips and stuff?
Hmm.
Could that be also,
Deficiencies,
uh,
yes.
mm,
Yes,
okay.
deficiencies, there's the, because you should not, when you're laying, at night and resting, you should not uh, do that. If you went out and you're exercising your muscles and you get your
Mm,
muscles to that level of fatigue that they need to have minerals being brought in and they are not there, then yeah, it'll tell you that. I know when I was an athlete and used to run track, used to have these salt pills, tablets that we would take because your body needs to have those minerals in order for the muscles to work like they're supposed to.
mhm.
And if they don't get them, they'll let you know that something ain't right here. um,
Okay.
Also in keeping with that is sleep. Okay, sleeping is another thing where the body is deficient in something and it cannot once it gets what it needs, then it'll be okay and you can begin to sleep. But a lot of times, again, there are people that are suffering from chronic sleep. Uh, I won't say apnea, but chronic sleep uh, deprivation that need to uh, look at to evaluate their balance of things to see what might be missing. Because usually, if you're not able to get to sleep, fall asleep, stay asleep, you know, then there's something wrong. Or on the other end of it, if you fall asleep and then you find yourself having to get up a lot at night because you have to relieve yourself, then there's another issue that's going on that also needs to be evaluated so that you can, those things should not be, um, I mean, they should not be like, they should be dealt with because those are not normal situations. They should not be allowed to go on year after year after year. They should be dealt with and try to find a solution to them. And there are solutions, just a question of, you know, working with someone that understands how to figure it all out and then get it back down to where you need to be at. Because again, I said before that your body repairs itself while you're sleeping. And if it has the protein there, that you've eaten enough protein, so it's got the building blocks it needs to repair, then the other thing it just needs is for you to get out of the way and let and go to sleep and then let the body repair takes place. The problem sometimes is that we just want to stay in the way of everything. We want to watch the repair take place. You can't do that. You know, the repair is only a process that takes place when you are asleep. Stress management and movement and activity. Um, my question here is that do you want true wellness? Okay, true wellness goes way beyond what's on your plate. Okay, the keto or non-keto or Mediterranean or what it is that you have on the plate, that's not the wellness that you're going to get. Wellness is about nurturing the entire being, so you got to deal with the transitioning away from food focused to transitioning away from food focused health to overall wellness. So food is just, I mean, it's important and it got its place, and we're going to put it over here. And now we're going to talk about the other things that you need to do in order to get yourself healthy and get yourself well. Okay, nourishing our minds is a part of all of that. We cannot do it all without nourishing the minds. Staying active, you gotta be active, man. You gotta move. You can't just sit around and just wait until things happen. You gotta push yourself, challenge yourself, stress yourself. Managing stress is another part of it. You know, uh, we're stressed people, stressing for no reason at all, stressing for uh, just this living, uh, prioritizing rest. We just mentioned that sleeping and you got to figure out a time to rest and relax and get some meaningful sleep. Um, Seniors with movement disabilities, because I hear the question out there somewhere saying, well, I mean, I can't do all of that. I mean, stuff, like these young people do, and like David Goggins was doing all of that, like flying in the air, doing push-ups and stuff. I mean, yeah, I can't do that either. That time is gone, but there are things that you can do. You got to figure out what it is. What is your thing? What is it that you're going to get up every morning and do, uh, you know, 2 minutes of, 3 minutes of, 4 minutes of, 10 minutes of, so that you can get your body back to where it needs to be at. Okay. These things can be gentle, low impact, tailored to your abilities, understanding that everybody is not at the same ability level. Okay. But these things that you can, that I'm saying here, you can do to improve your mobility, to strengthen your body, to give you better balance, to increase your overall well-being without putting you under undue strain. Okay. So one of the things is just chair exercises where, like this gentleman over here on the right-hand side is, he's just like sitting in a chair, lifting his arms, going through the motion, his legs, doing some walking in place, you know, um, whatever movement. This is what his ability level is. Okay. If you're sitting and watching TV, this, what do you call it? Bicycle. What do you call them now? Pedaling machines where you can just sit and just pedal while you are doing nothing, but you're doing something. It's movement. It's, getting your body doing things that it wasn't doing before. You gotta push. You gotta go and you gotta get it moving. Gentle chair yoga. Okay, gentle yoga or chair yoga. Tai Chi or Qigong, resistance training, light, whatever you can do, this is what you need to be about doing now. Um, Figure out what is best for you, what works for you, what you can do, but do it. You gotta do that. Does anybody have any, feedback or comments or input on this particular topic?
I do like the chair yoga and stuff. I do find it to be more easier to like get into it. It's just about, like you said, just doing it.
Yes.
Not look at the chair, but just doing it because it's much easier than it was a few years ago when you had to be constricted,
Hmm.
to the bicycle machine treadmill. It just make it more easier to get into, and I like that.
Yes, that's good. That's good. That's good. Um, the next picture here, these are the walking. This is just walking indoors. This is just um, doesn't require a treadmill. It doesn't require any special equipment. It doesn't require anything other than you getting up and doing it. A little video here. Um,
Hey there, April of Yes to Next here with my mom, Aiko. Hi. Today we're going to do a 10-minute indoor walk.
10 minutes.
Walking is one of the best forms of
minutes.
exercise. It's low impact, so it's easy on your joints. It's great for your cardiovascular system, gets your heart rate up and your blood moving. And it can help increase your mobility so you stay strong and independent. What do you think of walking, Mom?
Well, as a senior, if you're a senior and the doctor says it's okay to get up and walk around, then every day you should try to do that. Just move around. The exercises we're going to do today is good. If you can't go outside because it's raining, stay inside. It's good for the heart. Heart is a muscle. Gets the blood flowing through your legs so you can still get up off the toilet. Muscles on the arms. Good for your skin and great for your brain. Keeps you very active and makes you feel good. So don't sit around. Get up.
That's awesome. Awesome advice. Makes you feel good.
Awesome advice. Okay. And this is another one over here. It's important because we are all in that vein of being one, oops, go back. Being well, this one is not going to cooperate. Yeah, it's not going to cooperate. Yeah, we need to, I mean, the balance, because we're like one fall away from being like paralyzed, maybe, in a wheelchair or something, and these things are hard to, when you get to be older, these things are hard to break away from, they're, it could be once you do it at the older age in life, you'll be in there for the rest of your life. So we gotta, do things, to try and offset that, and I'll be the first to say I have my own issues with being able to have balance and being able to being mobile and doing the things that I would like to do. I'm still, out there trying, but I do admit that sometimes it is a bit challenging when I'm out there doing it. So, we need to continue putting forth the efforts so that we can get back or not lose everything that we're losing, because it seems like it's like going on a downhill slope. As far as stress management goes, you know, how much time are we putting forth in doing things that will help us to manage stress? And one of the things that I suggest you do is to do some breathing, and breathing helps us to be able to, uh, get back inside of ourselves, and I have a video here of coherent breathing, and let's see if I can, um, here. Okay.
We're going to be talking about slow breathing right now, the benefits of doing it, and how by breathing slow, you actually get more oxygen and more energy. I first heard about coherent breathing from Dr. Richard Brown at Columbia University. He's been a psychiatrist for decades, and the very first thing he has his patients do when they come into his office, he sits them down. Doesn't matter if they have anxiety, agoraphobia, if they're anorexic, if they have PTSD, whatever. He sits them down and he has them breathe in that slow rhythm. Many of them cannot comfortably breathe in to a rate of 5 to 6 seconds in, 5 to 6 seconds out. So he starts at 2 seconds in, 2 seconds out. Then he goes to 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out. And finally, maybe after a few weeks or months of training, he gets them to breathe at that coherent rate. And he told me, he said, I have seen people absolutely transformed by adopting healthy breathing practices. He even used this coherent breathing rate for people with this heinous condition called ground glass lungs. Nothing else worked for them, but by breathing at this rate of 5 to 6 seconds in and 5 to 6 seconds out, it allowed the lungs to purge out the toxins just by breathing at that rate. So not only do you get more oxygen more easily, not only do you calm yourself down, you're able to get rid of more gunk when you're breathing at this slow, low, coherent rate. The key with coherent breathing is you shouldn't have to think about it. This shouldn't exert really any effort on your part. It should be smooth, easy, and very nourishing to your body. So if at any point you're actually struggling to inhale or exhale, go back, breathe at a slower rhythm, and you're gonna be just fine. So for this one, we're gonna do it for about 3 to 4 minutes of just breathing into a count of 6, just breathing out to a count of 6. You don't have to sit in one place to do this. You can do this exercise walking around. You can do it doing dishes, whatever. The point is you are acclimating your body to breathing at a slower rhythm. And once you get the hang of this, your body will adapt to it and naturally, unconsciously breathe at this slower, better, relaxing rhythm, which is exactly what you want. I'm going to lead you off here, and then Mark is going to step in. We're just going to follow with his rhythm. Here we go. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out.
Everybody get that?
Yeah.
Mr. Latifah, do you do any breathing when you're just kind of like doing nothing?
You know something? No, I have not.
Mindful breathing, yeah. Not just we all breathing, but I'm saying to like just stop and say, okay, I'm gonna
Right.
like,
And just do some breathing exercise. I have
yes.
not. It's something I'm probably have to incorporate in my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now when I get too stressed out, I may stop and breathe, take a pause and just breathe for a minute.
Yes.
But to do it on an everyday basis, no, I haven't.
That's when you get the benefits from it because it's the oxygen that you're taking in that, has a healing quality to it that uh, you need to bring in. We're not bringing in enough. Our regular breathing that we've become so adapted to is, really insufficient for us, for our health. It's enough to keep us alive, but we're talking about taking our health to a different level rather than just being alive. We
Right.
want that air, that breathing to to heal. Oxygen has the ability to heal and do things for us but we need to do that. I'm going to just introduce you to this new version here. This um, here.
Hi guys, welcome. This is a guided breathing session. Relax to the deepest. Lie down, sit down, whatever it takes. Relax. Are you ready? Here we go. Round number 1. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Just go with the flow of the breath. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Into the belly, into the chest, and let go. Like a wave. Make it circular. Fully in and letting go. Just keep on going. No pause between inhalation and exhalation. Ten more. Fully in, let it go. Five more. Let's give it all we got. Last one. Fully in and let go. All right. 1 minute breath hold from now on. Be in this moment. Let the body do what the body is capable of doing. Be aware of your heartbeat. Slow it down and just be in this moment. Let that relaxation spread down to your toes, into your fingertips, to the base of your neck and head. You are almost there. Do you want to prolong your breath hold? Pause the video now and continue when you feel the urge to breathe. Okay, recovery breath in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath in and hold for 15 seconds. Exhale in 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Round number 2. Back into that rhythm. Breathe in, breathe out.
So why you stop it?
It's just it's a repeat of the whole thing again. The basic cycle is 30 breaths in. You do that 30 times. And then on the 30th one, you hold it for 1 minute. And then you exhale.
Okay.
And then once you do that, you do the thing all over again. You do that for 3 cycles. And if you did that, your health would begin to do amazing things. Breathing is free of charge, but we don't take advantage of it like that. We're not into that. I don't want to go to, but this is something that you need to do. And if you want to do it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would, one of the things, you know, I wanted to ask everyone about, do you have a schedule of things that you need to do for you, for your health and for your well-being? Do you have it? Do you have that?
Mm-mm.
No, um, I'm going to do one and put it on the uh, WhatsApp, you know, so that you can, you know, like print it out or make a copy of it or do it so that you know, like you get up in the morning, you do something, you know, then
Mm-hmm.
later on in the afternoon, you can do something you did in the morning, or you can do something else, you know, or you can do like walking in place or sitting in a chair and do some chair exercises for 10 minutes
Mm-hmm.
so that, you know, you got, you know, the structured way of doing things that this is for you. This is, you know, you're the one that will benefit from it if you did these things. You know, I mean, believe me, I don't know how to stress it enough. You know, we got the food, you know, that's over there and that's going to take care of itself. You know, we got the uh you know, it's the we you know, it's the exercise, it's the sleep that we need to get. It's the, you know, the things that we need to do daily that we're going to challenge ourselves a little bit more so that we get to that point of health and well-being that we need to get to. Does anybody agree with that or think that's a good thing to do? Or
I
if
think
I
that's a
did,
good thing to do.
okay.
Yes,
Anyone else?
that's a very, very good. I think it's important to have a schedule on how you do things. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a schedule and for those things that you might need to know how to have a little how-to sheet on the back of it so you can
Right.
know how to do certain things. Yeah, I'll do that. That'll, you know, for
I
sure.
agree with the ladies
Yeah.
that they're all excellent things to do daily and to redo once we fall off, reapply. And
Mm-hmm.
like you said, keep it simple, but do some of everything every day and just stay
Yeah.
to the process.
Yeah, yeah, that's
You know, we get caught up in this thing called life and get on this treadmill and, you know, alhamdulillah, you're showing us ways to, you know, add meaning and, you know, um, uh, to refresh, rejuvenate our lives.
yes, yes, that's what this I think it was on the next slide here. It's important. We talk about sleep, hydration, we know about all of that. These are the different kinds of salt. I think Sister Talia, we talked about that a few weeks ago, and the different kinds of salt that are available to you so that you can get your uh, electrolytes up to being where they should. And some are better than others. And you know, of course, nowadays you got to be on the lookout because if you aren't careful, some of these so-called, or not so-called, but these salts here might be iodized. And that form of iodine that they're putting in there, you don't necessarily want to have. It's not the best. But I wanted to come to this. Uh, you know, these will all be there for you to look at later on today. Herbs that will complement the keto way of eating. You know, these are things that you can use as seasonings or the turmeric, ginger, ashwagandha are things you take separate. You know, I mean, a powdered form of turmeric, the powdered form of ginger, you know, or the ginger root, you know, just chew on it or put it in your tea or however you get it in every day. You should be doing that. But uh, it's here. talked about that. And here we go. Spiritual connection. You know, for us as Muslims, health is an important part of our Islamic stewardship. You know, that amana that we need to be aware of. And sometimes we lose focus of that. We also lose focus of the fact that we honoring our bodies as a trust from Allah is also equally, probably as much more important than that. We don't give our bodies the praise and care and understanding and respect that it needs. The Quran teaches us that Allah says that, and He has to you, subjected to you whatever is in the heaven and whatever is on the earth. Okay, all from Him. These are things that are at your disposal. So indeed, in that are signs for people who give thought. So if you think about that, He's put all of these things here for us to have and to use and to understand and to adopt. And the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that there are two blessings which many people waste. Okay, health is one of them, and their free time is the other. Okay, and we shouldn't do that. It's like taking money that we've been given and like throwing it away, not giving it to a poor person or somebody that's needy. We're like just like literally throwing it down the drain or throwing it away because we don't look at it as being of value. And we gotta stop that. We gotta stop and we gotta give the body its respect, because on the next slide it says Islam promotes moderation in all things, including health. Diet, eat and drink, but do not waste and by extravagance. Indeed, He does not like the wasteful. Now, we all do a little bit of that, wasting and, putting things away and not doing things that we should do. I mean, we need to work on that. This encourages mindful eating, avoiding harmful behaviors like overeating and neglecting nutrition. I think I would hazard a guess that to say that many of us nowadays are not wasting food and doing things like that much. However, if I'm given something that I don't eat, then I'm not going to eat it. Don't give me no French fries and stuff like that. But that's but I don't order that stuff anyway, no more. So that's done. However, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that a strong believer is better and more beloved to Allah than a weak believer, while there is good in both. And avoid harm. Avoid harm. The principle of la dara wala la dira, no harm or reciprocating harm, emphasizes that we must avoid what is harmful to our bodies, such as consuming intoxicants and harmful substances to our health. Okay, ignoring illnesses that we may be having and neglecting preventive care that we need to take charge of. So, with all of that said, health comes as a part of our Islamic stewardship. So good health enables us to fulfill obligations such as praying, fasting, and performing Hajj. And caring for our bodies is an act of worship, ibadat, and it reflects gratitude from Allah to Allah for the ability to serve Him. Okay, so we got to take care of this thing that we have, that we've been charged with. and a community responsibility goes from individual responsibility to community responsibility that we need to pay more attention to. All right, I'm done for the day. Does anybody have any questions or comments or what have you?
I have none. Alhamdulillah, good program.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. The information's very, very beneficial. The links for the breathing, they'll be in the group, right?
Yes, they will be there. They'll be in the packet, but I'm going to take those links out and make them as links that you can click on and just go there.
Also, Dr. Jamil, do you
Mhm.
record? I mean, I know that when you record the session, have you made them available yet? I know you said you were trying.
Not yet. I am still working on that. I had
Okay.
a system to do it today to record it, but it didn't work again.
Oh, okay.
And it's there, but it's so long that for me to what do you call it? Edit it and compress it and condense it so that you can click on it and listen to it is still something that I need to finalize. I got a whole
So
bunch of stuff.
we can't even do that. Because I know you said you were on Facebook. I didn't really look on Facebook yet because I'm just not into Facebook. But I
Mhm.
mean, if you is it on Facebook or is it just that you can't do it on
Actually, it is being recorded live on Facebook today. Now,
Okay.
whether or not it's going to be saved as a file that you can click on or not, I'll go there and look and see, and
Okay.
I'll let you know. But if whatever the case is, I'll try and you know the last few weeks I'll try and do whatever I need to do to make those available.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Jazakallah.
Thanks so much for keeping that out there in front of me so I don't forget about it and like, okay, I don't have to do this. They're not asking about it, so
Yeah, well,
uh,
it's only because at this age, I think we can all agree that we can't just rely on our memories anymore. Like I have to write everything down. And
mm,
so to hear, if I'm listening to a recording, it doesn't matter what it is. It's always good to be able to go back to it and listen to it again so it can stick more inside your head,
yes.
For me, that works.
I hear you loud and clear, and I will definitely work on that and do something. I'm going to meet with my tech guru, and maybe we can work something out. They can help me to do something here.
Okay, Jazakallah.
Okay. Very good. Okay, well, if there are no further questions, I'm going to call it a day, and inshallah, we will meet again next week and go from there. Anybody have any topics or anything that they would like to hear more information on? Please feel free to share that information with me. And the last week, the Be Kind to Your Kidney Week, I haven't got any feedback on that from anyone, but I would certainly like to know whether when I do this kind of intensive knowledge sharing that it's being received and people are understanding it and appreciating it. It does take a lot of effort in order to do that, but if you are getting something from it, then I will definitely try and keep them coming.
I thought that I mentioned it in the group, but alhamdulillah, that the information that you left in the group was really, really very helpful. And I'm really going to try and start incorporating, some of those things, or as much as I can,
Mm-hmm.
into my daily regimen at this point. So,
Good.
but as far as I'm concerned, it is extremely beneficial, very, very helpful. Jazakallah khair,
All right, good. Thank you so much. Well, if there are no further questions, then I will be off, inshallah. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to sit here and listen, and I'll do better on my end as far as trying to make this information available to you in audio format. The written format, I've worked out many of the bugs in that, but the audio format I'll also do the same thing with. Thank you so much.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair.
Okay. All right. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.